How about that? The Edmonton Oilers ending the Anaheim Ducks 7-game winning streak with a 7-4 victory and another hat trick from a defenseman. First time in NHL history that a team has had defensemen score hat tricks in back-to-back games. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for sports. And we're going to break it all down. Text us 780-218-9999. Hop into the nasty chat as well. We want to hear from you as the Oilers pick up another victory. And they do it against a Pacific Division rival that was creeping up on them in the standings, one of those 4-point games, and they get the desired result. Benny Thomson back at EST Global HQ. Tommy Gazzola coming at you from the satellite studios just outside of Ice District, beautiful downtown Edmonton. Matt Kassian is our game analyst. He will be stopping by any minute now. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Benny Thomson, this one had a lot of goals, kind of like what Jonathan Davis was saying pregame, that the Ducks, they score a lot, but they like to go end-to-end hockey, coast to coast. They kind of, they didn't have Lucas Dostal, who's given Edmonton fits. Ville Husso can be a good goaltender in the National Hockey League, but Edmonton is obviously capable of playing run-and-gun hockey, and when you open it up, the Oilers are happy to do so as well, and that's what we saw. And yeah, that's right. I've seen some posts in the nasty chat saying, "Oh, Edmonton's defense, PK, same thing." But this is the Anaheim Ducks. Did you notice how super aggressive they were? And then it seemed like in the second period, the Oilers kind of caught on. Maybe even later in the first, they kind of caught on, and they found where the open man would be, and they took advantage of that, and it created a lot of opportunities for the Oilers. But I enjoy watching the Anaheim Ducks if that's the style of hockey they play night in, night out. But it'll cost you if you don't have the goaltenders on. And if you don't make a good couple of desperation plays defensively, you're going to end up getting burnt by teams that can go toe-to-toe with you offensively, and that's what happened to the Ducks tonight.
Yeah, the Anaheim Ducks remind me of early Connor McDavid era Oilers hockey.
Yes.
Just run and gun, pray that you get the bounces, and if you got to look, they have a high chance of scoring. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Ducks had some good looks. They put on the pressure in that third period, really made the Oilers hang on to that lead. It was a 3-goal lead that they got down to 1 before McDavid gets the empty netter. They have some studs on that team, man. I've heard some hype around Seneca. I was shocked at how good he was tonight. To me, every time he had the puck, he did something. I was like, wow, that's a ridiculous play. He's 19 years old, I believe, too. He was a reach at third overall for the Ducks. I think they're laughing with that pick now. Like, he looks really good. Ekholm on the back end. He's a
buzzsaw.
Yeah, oh yeah. And Ekholm being a physical beast and good in his own end. I understand why he got the call for the Olympic team. To me, yeah, the Ducks have some redeeming qualities in their game, and they played probably their game to their best of their ability. But like you said, in that second period was when things really opened up. And for me, the Oilers, when you have that much skill on this team, going shot for shot for the Oilers, we talked about on the pregame show, it can lead to Ducks having some high-end chances. But if you give this Oilers team good looks, they're most likely going to score on them too. I looked to that first period, and the Ducks had the hot start. And that's probably a benefit off of playing in last night in Calgary. You see that with teams on a second of a back-to-back that they usually have a good start. I looked to the Oilers' bottom 6 near the end of that first period. To me, they were kind of the momentum turners a little bit. They got out there and they were playing in the Ducks zone. I thought they had a role tonight in this win outside of maybe not getting that many points. Even though we did see some unusual suspects scoring today, which we'll get into. But yeah, to me, there's some redeeming qualities. But was it a pretty hockey game for the Oilers? Would you like to see them clean up some stuff, especially that PK? Yes, of course. I'm not going to sit here and act like they played a perfect game today, and I don't think anyone will say that.
No.
But should we be pissed off at a win? I can't believe I am looking at that right now, and some people are still ticked off.
Really? Actually, I shouldn't be surprised.
But usual suspects are.
Okay.
No, to me, this is you take the win. You play the Pacific team. Yeah, they're missing guys. They're coming off a 7-game win streak. Clearly, the 7 other opponents didn't care. The Ducks didn't care they were missing those guys. They beat them. They were the hottest team in the NHL coming into tonight's game. I understand you had the better team on paper, but you took care of business. It wasn't pretty, but you got it done. You got to be happy about it.
You didn't leak a point either. You didn't let it go to OT or anything like that. I think that's important because the Ducks were finding ways to accumulate points in that 7-game winning streak. And then, prior to that, they had a 9-game winless streak where I think they went to OT just once. But yeah, the Oilers found a way to snap that. And you're right. It was not pretty, but they got the job done. There are things that's a couple games in a row now where actually I think you can go all the way back. You can go back to Pittsburgh. I mean, the Oilers have been a little loosey-goosey in their own zone. And there's been times where I think of a goal that, was it the second Anaheim goal? It might have been off the top of my head where I think it was
Bouch.
It was Bouchard and Ekholm and Podkolzin all went below the goal line. Yeah. Nobody took Alex Kolar.
Oh, yes, that's right. Who do you think it's like? Who do you think made the wrong play there? I think it's Ekholm.
I think a few guys did.
Well, of course, yeah. Having 3 guys behind the net on a loose puck is not ideal. Yeah. But the way the play got set up, it kind of got rimmed around the boards, and it seemed like it was Ekholm's guy to take to the net, which ended up being.
But Bouchard got sucked in.
Yeah.
Colston also went.
Yeah.
There was even like if you look at Anaheim's first goal. It was a nice save by Jarry. I think it was Bouchard that had an opportunity to clear it out. It was a soft rim, and they kept it in, passed it, a little give and go there, and Granlund ends up very great shot by Granlund. I was kind of wondering, I'm like, was Jarry a little deep in his net? But I mean, Granlund can snipe if you give him time and space, and that's exactly what happened. They have been loose in their own zone. They let in 5 the other night to the Washington Capitals. They got pelted for 6 by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like these last 3 games defensively, a lot to be desired. And I know they've won 2 out of the 3, and that's the most important thing, but they now have a couple of days to get to work and figure out their defensive game because then they're going to need to stack up some wins here as the schedule continues on. And this 8-game homestand continues on as well. All right, text us your thoughts, 780-218-9999. It is a 7-4 Oilers victory over the high-flying Anaheim Ducks. Just like our friend Jonathan Davis from SiriusXM NHL Network Radio said on the pregame show, they score a lot, and we witnessed it tonight. The Oilers will get another team that has some offensive weapons that are young and catching the NHL by storm in the San Jose Sharks on Thursday. So maybe some lessons from tonight and maybe even going back to Saturday and then Thursday of last week. Let's get to some texts here. Let's go to this one. RBM and saying Ekholm and Bouchard with the Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. Yes, the D pairing with hat tricks on back-to-back nights. Dave Minock says the Ducks forecheck relentless. They would not be an easy out in a 7-game series with that youthful energy. Yeah, I like watching. Like they are all over it, but it does create opportunities. It leaves a guy open, and if you can identify that and take advantage and adjust, like the Oilers I think did in the second period, you're going to get some chances, and that's what Edmonton did. Troll texting in says, I guess if the bottom 6 isn't going to score goals, it might as well be the D-men, and if the Ducks had their top line playing tonight, they might have won. Yeah, maybe. Lots of injuries. They got the job done yesterday in Calgary. They were winning the 6 prior to that as well with a lot of injuries. So, Troll, I can't disagree with you, that's for sure. But the Oilers found a way. Stupid Peter texting us says, why does this team consistently get outplayed when the opposing team is on the second of a back-to-back? I don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know. I can theorize. I could say, well, you know, they're confident in their ability and maybe they can ease their way into games and coast on talent. We've had those conversations over the years, but I honestly, it could be a number of things, and I don't know. Like, and then it's like the afternoon games. Sometimes they're good in afternoon games. Sometimes they're good in back. There was last year or 2 years ago, they were really good in back-to-backs, front and back. This year, not quite. When other teams come in from playing the night before, are they good? kinda, but they make it interesting. Never a dull moment with this team. Doing it the easy way is not part of its MO. All right, let's welcome in our game analyst, Matt Kassian. Please keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Hop into the nasty chat. I'm enjoying this. This was an entertaining game again. Cass, a lot of flaws to the Edmonton Oilers game. I think if you're analyzing the Ducks, you could probably say the same thing, but you could give them the benefit of the doubt with all their injuries. But from an Oilers point of view, what do you like, Cass, about this 7-4 win? And then what things need work in the 2 days between games where the Oilers can take advantage of some practice time?
Yeah, well, I love that Mattias Ekholm got a hat trick. That was awesome. First career one.
Yeah.
At the buzzer was great. That was fantastic. I love that they won. Also fantastic. Very good thing. The chances against are a little bit scary. Penalty kill, a little bit scary tonight. Those things to clean up, not taking the penalties in the first place. How about that? A few less high sticking calls would be good to see. Stay out of the box as your best penalty killer, improve the penalty kill, and still got to clean it up in front of your own net and around it. Like, just way too sloppy still, way too sloppy. But guys, I mean, we talked about it before the game. Anaheim, and we saw it throughout the course of the game. Anaheim is one team for 5 minutes and then another team for another 5 minutes. Like they'll be like there was chunks of that first period where I was like, oh boy, the Oilers better pull it together here because Anaheim is absolutely coming. Like they are going to run you out of the building. And then all of a sudden the mistakes on Anaheim's side started piling up and Edmonton capitalized. It was like out of nowhere, Edmonton all of a sudden started to have odd man rushes against over and over and over again. And then in the third period, all of a sudden, Anaheim was back to the semi-dominant, aggressive, clean, crisp, generating opportunities type of team. So it was an interesting game because it wasn't one where it was like, the Oilers didn't dominate and just destroy and outright beat the Anaheim Ducks, but they did for parts of the game. Yeah. Like it's just such a weird one because it was like Anaheim was really good for a little bit of time and then they kind of remind, what it reminded me of? Maybe I'll leave it with this, and I want to see what you guys say. It reminded me of Edmonton a couple of years ago.
Benny said the same thing.
I don't know if I heard. I wasn't on yet. I didn't hear that. Like where it was just like, looks really, really good, and then all of a sudden just implodes for 5 or 6 minutes because they try to do too much offensively.
Yep. Agree. Straight up agree. Yep. So now, I'll just throw this one at you, Benny. Hop in whenever you want. But when Edmonton started getting those opportunities, I thought Edmonton found ways around Anaheim's aggressiveness and put themselves into situations where they could take advantage and key in on Anaheim's rambunctious style. Where if they had two guys on top of you, you make one pass to the right guy, and all of a sudden. Yep. You're basically getting an odd man opportunity on the Ducks. And I'll give the Oilers credit for either identifying that or luckily finding the right guy over and over and over again for portions of this game.
Yeah, well, that's the execution, at least in that part. Again, when they executed well, like you can take advantage sometimes of that type of aggression. Because you have teams that do, and teams that do it very, very well generally do well against the Oilers, like a Florida Panthers, for example, where it's like they're ultra aggressive, they're always pushing, always pinching, and it seems to give the Oilers fits at times. Now Anaheim, it did again tonight. There was times when it gave fits to the Edmonton Oilers. However, if you can still execute cleanly, then that's where you generate those offensive chances and you can force teams to back off because it's like, yes, you still have to make two plays to get there. Like you have to beat the forecheck and then you have to beat the defense that's pinching in on you. But then all of a sudden you have odd man opportunities, whether it's going to be 3-on-2s with a forward back for Anaheim or 2-on-1s because it's a clean out. Like you can generate those chances. And that's where, it was the type of game heading into it where I was a little nervous and nerves almost were correct in a lot of ways because it was closer than I would have liked. Of saying if this turns into a run and gun, like Edmonton may be able to get out and do that, but are they going to still turn over too many pucks trying to beat it cleanly when maybe sometimes a simple play is just to, take a safe play and relieve some of the pressure. But yeah, I mean, you could see it. But they did, and particularly that little chunk in the second period when they scored a whole bunch of goals, they found a way to beat the pressure. And they did it by just being clean.
Benny.
Yeah, the comparison to the Panthers is a good reminder. Like when I watch the Panthers play the Oilers in these past 2 cup finals, it's like it hurts to watch them go and just beat up on the Oilers defense and make it so difficult for them to use their best asset when they're playing at their best, and that's moving the puck up ice and coming in and tackling with speed. The Ducks did a pretty good job of doing that. It's just the problem is that they don't execute that plan as well as Florida does, which allows them for the mistakes to be happen more often for Anaheim and gives the Oilers more chances, man. And unusual suspects are the ones that are capitalizing on them tonight. I understand Draisaitl had 4 points. That's got to be an extremely quiet 4 points from Leon. Obviously, Ekholm with the hat trick, Nurse scoring stat. Like the defensive scoring coming along, but I also thought just the bottom 6, especially that third line. Savoy, I like Szymanski's debut today. I thought he played pretty solid.
Hey, that was if only he buried that one. We're all like, oh,
so tough. Everyone says that don't dust off the puck and fire it. That one he could have probably dusted off just a second, a half second, just to look up and see. Oh, I have a wide open net. Put some mustard on it, it goes in. But I thought the third line came out clutch for the Oilers tonight. I thought they looked good, but it wasn't their top guys tonight that won the game for me. Like it was more of a. It felt like the bottom 6 had a role tonight. Is what I took away from it. But yeah, like we were talking earlier, the play of Anaheim, they don't do it as well as Florida, which allows for more high danger chances the other way, and the Oilers capitalize on them.
780-218-9999. The Edmonton Oilers defeat the Anaheim Ducks 7-4 in a very entertaining game. Double hat trick night. Granlund for the Ducks and then Ekholm for the Oilers. Like we said off the top, first time in NHL history where a team has had defensemen score hat tricks in back-to-back games. That's incredible. And it's that pairing of Bouchard and then Ekholm mixing in a hat trick from Mikael Granlund there. They're showing the William Nylander giving the middle finger at the game. Not smart. Don't do that. Bad example. I
gotta see that. I didn't see that. I'm pulling up right now.
Well, he's in the press box and he looks to his teammates and goes, "Hey guys, look, that camera's pointing at us." There's a reason why the camera's pointing at you. It's because they're showing you on the television, and he goes and flips them off. It's pretty funny.
I don't know how I missed that. I'm watching right now. This is going to make me laugh.
Yeah, no, it's not good. I'm going to read some text here. Let's go to Hampton Steve chiming in via the inbox 780-218-9999. Says, good evening, gents. Not to be a stick in the mud, but outside of the second period, I didn't think the Oilers played that well. The PK got exposed tonight. Yeah, went 1 for 4. Nurse had maybe one of his worst games defensively as an Oiler. Just glad they were able to get the full 2 points, keep the Ducks from getting any. Hopefully they could put in a full 60 against the Sharks on Thursday. Let's go to Huntorio Momes. Says, boys, Bouchard was pumped for Ekholm. Haven't seen a smile like that on Evans since his walk through West Mountain Mall this morning. Thank you, Ontario Momes. I forgot about the comment the other day. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Way to tie it together. Buddy, if I had the board here, I'd hit that applause button for you. That's so good. Dirty Curdy just says, Viking magic from Dirty Curdy. Yes, that was Viking magic. Good to see. Piers says, first time seeing Anaheim play this year. What a good team. Jackson Lacombe is a stud. Same with the best name in the game, Beckett Seneca. Yeah, we were talking about that. Cass, your impressions of the young talent on this Ducks squad, like individually, and this is with McTavish out, Troy Terry out, Leo Carlson out. They're dealing with a bunch of injuries right now, but they still have some young guys that you're thinking, man, they're going to be good for a while here, aren't they?
I think so. Like there's some good skill there. And Terry McTavish are kind of right at the top of that. And part of where I think Anaheim's headed in the right direction with that too is they have, for some of those guys, contract certainty from a pretty reasonable dollar amount if you look at McTavish's contract and Terry's contract. But a lot to like if you're a fan of the Anaheim Ducks there. Now, I think the part when we were looking at that, we're saying, okay, where are they going to have to retool? Maybe a little bit on defense at some point here. Like you're going to need a little bit more, but from a forward group standpoint, there's some skill there. There certainly is speed there. Well, I think we saw that today. Like there is a lot of speed there. And they're a much better team than I thought. I thought it was going to take them one more year heading into this season before they were kind of at the point they're at right now. So maybe a little bit ahead of schedule for the Anaheim Ducks, but yeah, some young talent that it could, again, like to the comment that I guess Benny made before me because he's so smart, and that I made later because I'm also smart, reminding me of like a younger Oilers from a couple of years ago is like, this team could, if they figure it out a little bit more, they could be a team that gives Edmonton some trouble in years to come here.
I think
with their speed.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the Oilers side of things. We saw Josh Szymanski with his NHL debut. Can't bury that one. What did you think, Cass? And then what were your impressions of the bottom six as well? I thought Lazar made a couple of really nice plays, set up Kapanen early in the third period, but did we see any spark there? And did Szymanski look like he fit in the NHL?
He looked pretty good. Like he moved pretty well. I think the one thing I appreciate about him is positionally, he seemed again, it was one game, but seemed to find his way in the defensive zone a little bit. Like there was no glaring plays to me, and it's possible I missed it or missed one. But there's no glaring plays to me where he was just so dramatically, wildly out of position where it was like, oof. Right. Like that didn't look very good, or that's a rookie mistake. Like there's no rookie mistake moments. Would have loved for him to be able to score. That would have been awesome. So too bad in that. Would always like seeing those in NHL debuts, but it was overall a solid game. Again, I kind of go to the position on that and what the role he's being asked to play is, and you get put into that spot to be. I mean, like it's a first audition to say, hey, do we have something here from a third line center standpoint or fourth line center standpoint? Another guy that can come in and can play some games and give us some reliable, steady minutes, because he wasn't brought here. I can tell you guys this, and I know he's produced in the AHL this year, like he's put up points, but they didn't bring him here to put up points. They brought him here to be steady. And I think you got a little bit of that tonight. So it was a good, solid first game for him. I thought he was very, very good tonight, and big smiles after. It was always fun.
Szymanski ends up at 743 time on ice. Kind of hoping he'd get a little bit more. It didn't happen. +2, one attempt blocked. That was the Lacombe empty netter, and he kind of puts it far side right on Lacombe's blade, which is too bad. He went 3-1 on the faceoff dot. That's good to see. I think he took short shifts as well. Did you guys notice he went off pretty early?
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to play it safe. Yeah. So I don't blame him, but he got into the mix with a skirmish after the whistle in front of the Oilers net. I appreciated that. So to me, I liked him. I thought that was encouraging. I know you got the adrenaline going in your first NHL game. I think they found a player, you guys. Like, I think I said it on the pregame show. To me, the shelves are a little bit restocked with guys like him, Hudson, Howard. Obviously, Savoy is an everyday player now, but it's kind of encouraging to see. And they're going to need to continue to do that and find different ways to find players that maybe down the road could eventually play, because they've traded away a lot of picks. They've traded away prospects. I was highly encouraged by Josh Szymanski. So good start for him. And we'll see when he gets into the game on Thursday, what he can provide to the team. All right, let's go to CMAC. CMAC says, who needs defensive defensemen? What a game by the back end. Oilers play the Woody way and win on his return to Edmonton. See you later, Woody. 4-point game. Big win. Thanks for the text, CMAC. Yeah, good to see Jay Woodcroft on the bench with the Anaheim Ducks. BDA boy is saying, Tommy, that is 2 putrid games in a row for Wallman. Let's give you his stat line. Jake Wallman +1, 22-33 time on ice, 2 shots, 1 takeaway. I thought he had a couple of giveaways. He doesn't have a giveaway officially on this game sheet, but I thought he was moving okay. There were some soft plays in the third period in his own zone that I kind of noticed, but what did we think of Wallman? Because BDA boy says, no bueno, not tonight in his eyes.
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay. Not quite as much jump as I was hoping for. Like I was hoping we'd see a similar spark coming back into it, and a lot of that mojo and adrenaline. But he was okay. Yeah, just okay. Not horrible.
Yeah,
but not great. Existed, which is, I guess, okay for coming back into the lineup.
Still not great on Regula. That's the way I look at it. Like that's like that to me even Wallman's not his greatest game. Still is a solid upgrade on Regula right now. Yeah, would you like them to play a little bit better? I don't see like him being a total liability right now in these past couple games. There's been moments, of course, where you're like, needs to make a better play there, but I still think his high end is pretty damn good and very valuable piece on this team.
Yeah, I think he made some clever plays with the puck.
Yeah,
too that maybe go unnoticed. Just
for sure. Maybe
we're used to him making those plays with the puck, but I thought he made a couple of decent plays. So let us know your thoughts. 780-218-9999. Let's have a look at some more texts. Let's go to Klima's Lid. What's up, Klima's Lid? Good to hear from you. Cass, interested in your take on the fourth Anaheim goal that went off of Nurse while he's trying to, quote unquote, play goalie again. Should he simply box out and pressure the puck carrier? Why is he always flailing around on the ice? I wish Joaquin Gage was here right now because Joaquin hates that. But Cass, Klima's Lid wants to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, Joaquin and I both have, I would say, a similar stance on it. I don't like it. I never have liked it. All my time playing professional, I never, aside from like 2-on-1s where sometimes a slide makes sense, I never liked defensemen, particularly on the penalty kill, leaving their feet because it takes you out of the play. It's an all or nothing. It's like maybe you get it, but even then, if it like bounces off of you, you can't make a play on the puck, like unless you're covering it. So I don't. Now going down to one knee, you can still kind of actively make a play. But yeah, I don't love it. I just pulled it up again here because I want to see exactly what it does.
Swimming around a bit.
Swimming around. No, but he does that all the time. You know, that's a we'll call it a staple of his. Like that's his
bad habit.
Yeah, that's his habit. And we have to go back even to potentially junior coaching, like where that has been coached into a player. That has been coached into a player. Now, it hasn't been coached out of him yet. In that instance, I would like to see him keep his feet because he's long, he's strong, he's athletic, he's a big guy. Like if you look, instead of dropping down to one knee and turning his stick sideways, like if he takes one step and just goes stick on puck and sticks his stick out there, well, all of a sudden now Granlund has to either shoot around the stick or he gets a piece of it, the chance to steered it into the corner and your body's still in the way. And then you haven't left your feet. You're not committing to anything. So I know like he's trying to take away a portion for the goalie to have to save, but I don't love it. Again, there's some coaches that's what they want their players to do. There's some goalies that's what they want their players to do.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't like it. Joaquin doesn't either. To me, I'm like, stand your feet, take that extra step, get the stick in the lane. But if you want him to fix it, that's got to be coaching that works with him on that because it's so habitual at this point. Like that's how he operates. That's what he does. And if we want to see that change, we have to look at coaching ultimately and say, well, the coaching staff hasn't corrected this or changed this or told him enough times that don't do this. So, I mean, we really have to blame the coaches for it.
Well, you know what? That one also went off of Nurse's skate and it popped up and went top shelf on Jarry. I'm looking at the third goal, Granlund's second of the night, where Killorn was uncontested right in front of Jarry. And Nurse is doing the same thing again, just kind of like half down, half up, waving his stick around. And it allowed Killorn to just park himself in front of Jarry. And basically Nurse has left himself, it seems like, in no man's land. And like Granlund's a good player and has been in this league for a while. And if you give him time and space, he'll find the space to put the puck. And he did that 3 times tonight. So, yeah, it's super frustrating. Klima's lit. I completely understand, where you're coming from on that one. And it's interesting because remember there was a time, Cass, Benny, maybe this was definitely before you started with us, and maybe you might have been in junior high, for crying out loud. But do you remember, Cass, I can't remember which coaching staff it was, but maybe it was when you and I started doing this show together early on in my 1260 days. It almost seemed like it was coached into the Oilers on the PK to go down at the side of the net. Yeah. That didn't work.
No, it didn't work. But I agree with you. I think that it was coached in, and it just hasn't got coached out yet. Yeah. And that may have been a Manson thing too.
Could have been.
It could have been, but I'm trying to remember if that really started before then or not. I would have to go back and look, but it's been coached into them, and you either have to coach it out or you're going to leave it.
This one from Coach Mike, speaking of coaches, says, Oilers can't do things the easy way, but I will take it. 2 days off to get ready for San Jose and finally win 3 in a row. I wish Nurse didn't go down on one knee. Can that be coached out of him? We talked about that. And then Coach Mike says, I wish Nurse wouldn't go down. He reiterates that. Can it be coached out of him? Cass hopes so. But at what's Darnell now, like 30, 31?
Mm-hmm. Something like
that. Can you change that habit, guys?
Yeah, probably not. Like you can, you just, again, coaching, like it's going to have to be consistent work with, but probably not.
He's 31 in 9 days, I think here. So he's, I'd imagine it's pretty hard when you've played a good portion of your hockey career, learn with that style. Yeah. It's pretty hard to coach that out of him at that age.
Derek Robertson via the nasty chat says the 80s Oilers D-men always went down like that. I can barely remember. I'll watch a game on YouTube that pops up from time to time. I'll watch like a period and a half. I'll look for that next time. I didn't really notice it blatantly. But the other thing, guys, is the 80s Oilers is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Hockey's way different now.
Very different.
Yeah. Barry the Cheater did not like the broadcast today. It was not the usual broadcast on Sportsnet. Some people complaining about the talent. They have good talent on there. I mean, Adnan Verk is a great broadcaster. Andy Petrillo is a great broadcaster. They had Jody Shelley in the booth. He was awesome. Thomas Hickey was here. And I think it was Johnny Forsland. Like Johnny Forsland's like national level. All of those guys are pretty good. Blake Bolden coming around. She's becoming a better, stronger broadcaster. I don't know. I thought it was okay, guys. I don't like critiquing our peers, but they have talent. They have a lot of talent.
I noticed the live play-by-play broadcast they were very they had a lot of insight on the game. Where I feel like Jack and Louis will obviously talk the game, but they'll have fun with it and kind of have good banter back and forth and make it obviously a little bit more Oilers centric.
That's a regional broadcast. Even the national broadcast where Jack and Louis do the games, guys, you're basically getting an Oilers regional point of view where Jack and Louis dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, but they on this broadcast, it seemed like they were very. I'm trying to find the right word for it. They broke the game super, super well. Not like Jack and Louis don't, but I noticed that today. But I can understand a little bit of the criticism. A lot of the NAS chat's filled up with it quite a bit about the broadcast. So I understand it.
To me, it's just different. It's just different. Those 100%. Guys are trying to figure. They don't work. That's not a broadcast crew that works together 60 to 70 times a year with one another, like a regional, like Jack and Louis. Those guys are super tight. I remember they became fast friends our first year working for the team together. Jack and I got hired a week apart, and they were tight. Like that kind of bond resonates on the air, like Suits and Dusty or me and Dusty on a broad. Like you have this comfort level, and you get used to it as a viewer, I think. And this is new. This is all very new. And these are different broadcasters coming in from different broadcasts around the league. Jody Shelley, Columbus guy. He does the Columbus Blue Jackets broadcast. You got Johnny Forsland. Guess what broadcast he's on, you guys? Seattle. He's the play-by-play for the Kraken. Thomas Hickey, I believe, does stuff for the Islanders, if I'm not mistaken. And then Blake Bolden does some Kings stuff. Andy Petrillo is she's a Jill of all trades and can handle anything. But you bring it all together, and everyone needs to find a rhythm with one another. So it's not going to be the same, obviously, as a regional, and you get a comfort level with the regional. This is new. It's going to take time. So I'll defend them a little bit. Maybe it's not as finely tuned as a regional, but there's talent there. I'll just say that. I'm not going to knock them. You could be mad at me if you want and disagree, and that's fine. I'll leave it there. I'm defending them. So, plus the other thing is too, I only watch like 10 minutes of it when I get back from the rink. 780-218-9999. The Oilers pick up a 7-4 win over their Pacific Division rivals from Anaheim. A couple of hat tricks in this game. Mattias Ekholm picking up his first in the NHL, and the Oilers have consecutive games with a hat trick from a defenseman. First time in league history that has happened. All right, Cass, let's take a peek ahead. Man, time is flying. We've been going for 40 minutes already. That's incredible. Let's take a peek ahead to this San Jose game, right? Like the Sharks have been an upstart team. They've got Celebrini, they got Will Smith, they've got other pieces that have complemented the important ones, the pillars, if you will, the young ones. And if you're not on top of your game, they can burn you. So how do you attack the next 2 days before that San Jose game if you're the Oilers?
Yeah, they absolutely can burn you. Some wonderful young talent. I don't want to say they've been only pulled along by Celebrini, but they've only been pulled along here by Celebrini in a lot of ways. Like the kid is just lights out right now. So how do you prepare? Well, you put Celebrini and give him the opportunities that the Ducks have tonight, you're going to give up another 4, 5, 6 goals against. Mm-hmm. Like the game against the San Jose Sharks is going to come down to the Edmonton Oilers being able to actually limit the chances against, because they haven't quite done enough of that the last couple. Offensively, they've been great. I mean, your D-men are putting up a ton of points, back-to-back hat tricks from your defensemen. They've found ways to get in the rush and get involved. So offensively, it's there. Just keep doing what you're doing, but defensively, have to clean it up. You can't give up 4 goals, 5 goals a game, 6 goals a game, and expect that you're going to win.
I want to add one more question to this for you. And I'm not at a point where I'm going, ooh, I'm concerned, but there might be some thinking about it. It's just because everything does get analyzed in this market and with Oilers fans, because that's the nature of it, and they're dialed in. The goaltending the last couple of games has allowed a lot of goals.
Yep.
Okay. We saw a pull midway through the game the other night for Ingram on the third goal of the night against him on 12 shots. Jarry went in, allowed a couple, ended up getting the win. I mean, they had to resort to desperate measures to win on Saturday. Highly entertaining. Tonight, maybe a bit sloppier defensively. Didn't need desperate measures, but it was exciting. It was loose. Didn't get all the saves you probably wanted, but there were a couple of redirections, a couple of screens. We talked about that fourth goal that Nurse, deflected. But is there anything to be concerned about with the goaltending, or is it no? They'll be okay as long as you take away the shooting lanes.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. It's so interesting that pre-Skinner trade, like if this was Stuart Skinner in that tonight.
Murder.
Exact same plays happen. Yeah. Exact same goals happen. People would be losing their minds.
Exactly.
The last 3.
You get raked over the coals.
Yep. And they would have all their reasons and all their justifications. And you and I and Benny would probably be here being like, well, he wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how the goaltending has been, right? Like we cannot say that the Oilers have defended well and the goalies have just been soft and weak and horrible. Like they haven't defended well. Mm-hmm. They didn't defend well against Pittsburgh. They didn't, and was the goaltending great? No, it wasn't great. Was Jarry great tonight? No, he wasn't great tonight. The one goal, which one was that in particular? He was swimming a little bit like Darnell Nurse, where he was out of position. Which one was that? Was that I think that was goal 3 or was that goal 4?
I think 4, he had to come across And then
Yeah,
Darnell Nurse tried to half play goalie, half play defense, and then it went off his skate and then up high blocker on
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. That's okay. But he wasn't fantastic. So I'm not worried about the goaltending. Ingram has been good. Jarry, he's been okay. But he hasn't been horrible either. Team hasn't helped much the last couple of games. So I'm not worried about it at this point.
All right. I just want to float it to you. I didn't want to make a big point of it. I just wondered because I figured it was something that would get brought up by somebody.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was brought up by me the first 10 seconds I was in the nasty chat. You should be looking to trade him. And yeah, I mean, where's my boy Chief Andy right now losing it on the goaltending and talking about how Pickard would be the number one starter on any team in the league currently. Like, it's just, is what it is though. But goaltending, they'll be fine. Not worried.
Tighten up that defensive game, and we'll see what happens on Thursday against the Sharks. Cass, great work today, my friend, and we will see you on Thursday.
Sounds good, fellas.
There you go. That's our game analyst, Matt Kassian, helping us break down the Oilers' 7-4 win over the Anaheim Ducks. First of 3 meetings this season, and these are going to be exciting games. We don't get to see the Ducks again until late February. And then late March, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, looking at it here. Yeah, February 25th, they're in Anaheim, and then the Ducks come back. It's only 3 games against the Ducks this year. The Ducks return to Edmonton March 28th. So, yeah, I remembered it all right. Okay, we do have some audio to get to and some video from inside the Oilers locker room. I think it would be appropriate to start with the guy who got a hat trick tonight, not named Mikael Granlund.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Viking, Mattias Ekholm.
So you had to go out there and get a hat trick of your own?
It's nothing I thought about before, but I guess that's how it turned out. So, yeah, fun moment. That last face-off, too, was up by 2, up by 1. I'd probably just try to chip it out. But, try to take a look at least at it and see what happens. But fortunate enough to get in there, so... Yeah, cool moment.
Evan said that it was his first ever hat trick ever. What about you? Is that your first ever?
Oh, probably, as far as I can remember. Yeah, no, I usually not known for my goal scoring ability, so couldn't buy a goal for 20 games and then 3 in 1. So that tells you the story.
Were your kids here or up watching the game at home?
They were here for warm-ups. I think they were here for the first, so tough luck. I don't know. Maybe my oldest watched it on TV, but I'll have to check with my wife later. The games go pretty late, so they got to get up for school tomorrow, but we'll see the highlights tomorrow.
Who would be the most excited of your kids to see that Dad got a hat trick?
Probably, I think all of them, but William's older, so he's 7, so he understands it more, obviously, and he will get on the highlights by himself. So I'll say him, but I think all 3.
You were saying the other night that you were going to make them watch Bouchard's game. What did you pick up from Bouchard's game? Because it seems like there was something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like you look at the goals, too. It's just trying to join the rush on the first 2, and sometimes they just happen, right? There's no real explanation. It's not like I changed my game overnight to then obviously score a hat trick. It's just one of those things. Some nights you have your bounces go your way and whatnot, and yeah, try to enjoy this one because probably be my last.
First time in history, 2 defensemen scored back-to-back hat tricks in the NHL.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah,
a lot of years.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Evan actually set it on the bench there, so it was a cool little moment for us. Like, we've played together now for quite a while, and love playing with them, and to be able to have nights like this on not back-to-back nights, but back-to-back games is. Yeah, it was a pretty special moment.
So there's a side of your team, and Brian Nugent just said we're going to eventually have to dial in our defense, and you want to play better defense, but you guys still can rip off a couple of 10-goal nights like this, both wins. You can score with anybody in the league. Is it still a valuable side of your team? Win games like this.
You're asking a defensive defenseman to love a 7-4 win. I don't know. I love the win. I love every win. I know they're hard to come by, and you got to celebrate your wins. But I agree with that too. I thought we could have played maybe a little bit of not as safe as death. You can't play safe, but a little bit more of a sounder, cleaner defensive third period. With that said, you're absolutely right. Like we can run and gun with the best of them. So it's both ways.
What's your opinion of that young Anaheim?
I think they got some
pieces there.
good pieces for sure. I mean, it seems like they got a lot of speed. They got a lot of skill. I think what the last question was about, you can run and gun. I think they can run and gun, but I think when they dial in their defensive game, I think that they'll be a good hockey. They're already a good hockey team, but they'll be a great hockey team. Obviously, they got a goaltender or two goaltenders in there too that are playing well. So I think they're taking steps every year. It seems like.
Have you ever had any games where you've had two early in the game and said, "Oh, tonight's the night back in Nashville," or "Tonight's the night I'm going to get three"?
I actually just talked to some of the guys. Actually, funny story. I had at Rexall, it was my second year, I think. I had 2 goals, I thought, and then I had a look at the empty net and I missed it. And I came to the bench. Guys were like, "Oh, you missed it. You had a hat trick." And not to call Mike Fisher out, but he was net front on the second goal, and he would look down at me and he's like, "I tipped that one, so you wouldn't have had it anyway." So I was somewhat.
Just a good Christian taking that goal.
I know. I love Mike though. He's a great guy, so it was funny.
All right, that was a really good post-game interview with Mattias Ekholm, who got the hat trick tonight, his first career hat trick. Great story there about the days back at Rexall when Nashville would actually own the Oilers.
Yep.
And then, obviously the roles have reversed in recent years. Well said on the defensive side of the game. I liked his thoughts on the Anaheim Ducks, and then having some fun with it. So he's great. That was peak Viking.
Yep.
And hopefully more better games than tough games for him the rest of the season. And he says his health is getting better, and he was still struggling with that. What was it? The core, the abductor muscle injury that he had last year. And hopefully, he could find that extra gear and continue to play well. And like he said, the Oilers need to be buckling it down defensively, but he's right. That was entertaining. That was a fun game. And he chipped in a lot. That second goal he scored, Benny, great shot.
And he knows how to pick that spot perfectly. Whether it's a wrist shot or slap shot, that far corner, right beside the J bar, flies right out after. That's a sweet spot to put it.
Then nifty, clever, cheeky, however you want to describe it, redirection on the first one. Then he buries the empty netter. So there you go, Mattias Ekholm with the hat trick tonight. A couple of texts real quick before we go to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. We also have Reed's Read coming up shortly. 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat. Mex Bazuzu via the nasty chat says, Mike, Mr. Carey Underwood Fisher. Yes, Mex, had a chance to see her a couple times in Nashville. She's itty bitty and she's beautiful. Mike Fisher, that's a good lucky couple. He's a nice guy. Good hockey player for a long time, and they have a nice situation. Let's call it. Let's go to Greg, the sound guy. Says that was entertaining as all heck to watch, boys. Congrats to my boy Ek on the Hattie. What a game from that gem. Fingers crossed for Thursday and 3 in a row. They are due. Have a great show, dudes. Thanks, Greg. Good to hear from you. Johan the Viking. Whoa. Another Viking says, hey, Tommy, it's felt more like a team defense problem the last bit. Irresponsible puck play in the offensive zone has led to some of the goals. Also, isn't giving up 3 power play goals out of the ordinary. Yes, Johan the Viking, I would agree with everything you said there. Going 1 for 4 on the PK, not ideal. Edmonton did have a shorty tonight. Spencer Stasny's first as an Oiler. It got a fortuitous bounce. I think that was Olin Zellweger's skate it went off of, but you'll take it. And then Edmonton on the power play went 1 for 4 as well. Johan the Viking, nice to have you. Very nice to have you. Great handle. All right, let's go back inside the Oilers locker room. Let's hear from the Nuge.
First time ever in NHL history.
Yeah, it's wild.
D-men back-to-back Hatties.
Yeah.
Forward's got to catch up.
I know. It's our time. It was great to see not just that, but they all contributed back there. We just heard the 4 fastest goals from a defenseman in history too, so pretty good. Obviously, they can drive the play so much back there, and tonight we saw it go in for them for once.
Well, Ekholm specifically, like he's had to work his way through some stuff in the last 6-8 months, however long. But pretty clear his game is really rounding into the usual form.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're going to get from him, and usually it's hard to play against. He's going to make really good first plays and jump into the rush when he can, but he's going to be tough to play against every night. So when he has a night like this, it's obviously exciting, and it makes a huge difference for our team.
You guys just said, you got 3, I can get 3.
Yeah, he just decided to take over tonight. I mean, Bush, obviously, that was a crazy game the other night. So cool that his partner and, like I said before, the whole decor could step up and keep it rolling.
How much do you think you guys, good couple of wins here, but at the same time you get the sense you guys need to dial things in a little defensively, or the goals against last little bit's been pretty high?
Yeah, I mean, I thought first 2 periods we were hard to play against, and because of that we were getting lots of offensive looks, and then we just kind of stepped back in the third. But yeah, I mean, obviously if we're going to have success down the road, it's going to be from the defensive side out, and we know that. We've gone through it the past few years, and we definitely understand in here that's going to be the difference for us, and we want to keep taking strides and keep improving on that aspect.
That Anaheim team kind of reminds me of your team like 5 or 6 years ago. Skill, play.
Yeah, very dynamic. Like I said, a lot of good young talent over there. So you got to get it out of their hands as much as you can, be in their face, and make it hard to play against. And because, like you said, I mean, we used to be on that side of things, and when teams are just swarming you and giving you no time and space, it makes it tough. So, but I mean, I thought we did a fairly good job, and they kind of had their push in the third.
All right, there's the new Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1 assist tonight, +1, 19-15 time on ice with 1 shot, and also had a hit, 2 giveaways for number 93 in orange and blue, and acknowledgement from the Nuge on the defensive side of the game. So they recognize that. Great, that's the first step. Now go do something about it. Clean it up.
Yep. That's what they got to work on. That and I mean the PK too. I thought, don't get me wrong, I think the PK was bad, obviously, but I also thought you got to give a lot of credit to Anaheim. Like that power play was snapping around. Granlund with all 3 of the power play goals.
And the PK, Benny, had crept up to 10th in the NHL. So it has been better lately.
This has been a strength of theirs for the past little while. The special teams battle.
Yeah.
It has been a favorable matchup for the Oilers special teams wise pretty much all year. Like the PK had a rough stretch, I think, at the start, but eventually crept its way up, like you were saying. The power play has been pretty consistently first in the NHL. Even though I think even then the power play recently has gone a little bit of a dry spell. They scored today and they scored last game, but I think I'd like to see them convert a little bit more on their chances. But yeah, for the PK's been pretty good as of late. Today, obviously not great. Maybe it's a matchup thing, like just the system, the power play, or for Anaheim, their power play system probably matches up well against Edmonton's. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll be able to tell against San Jose if their PKs are a true issue or if it's a matchup.
Yeah. Interesting. But they have time and opportunity to improve it, work on it, and clean up some things. Absolutely. All right. Keep those texts coming in. We have Reid Wilkins who will be stopping by shortly. I'm going to go to Vincenzo, then we'll get to the turning point of the game. Vincenzo texting in saying, I thought Jarry was good. He made some timely stops, especially the one without his blade. Yes, that was great. He scrambled, the blade fell out of his skate on his right side, and he kind of tried to push and he fell, and then he scrambled. And I think the puck did get deflected on its way in, but he was there, made the stop. And he finished. He did face a lot of rubber tonight. I was just going over his stats because someone in the press box from the Oilers made the comment, hey, we need a 900 night from one of our goalies. He finished at 900. He had 36 saves on 40 shots, and had to get a little creative, like on that goal that that shot that Vincenzo alluded to, where Jarry made the save with one blade missing at the side of the post. That's the worst. Like you get that right impact on those quick release blades, and it just pops out, and you're screwed.
Yeah.
You can't do anything, right? You see guys pushing teammates to the bench. If you're your goalie, look out. And technology is wonderful. Those quick release things are awesome. I know for the equipment guys, it's a huge game changer because now like a lot of the teams have these skate sharpeners that you have programmed for each player.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about like the Sparks machines that you can have the different wheels. I'm talking, you put the blade in, you hit the number of the player, and it just cuts it for them. And then now they have like 6 to 8 pairs of steel each, right? Like you're not sitting there. I remember Brad Harrison and Jeff Lang, especially on the road, they would get to the rink at like 6:30 in the morning, and they would have 30 pairs of skates to cut themselves by hand. And it would take time, right? Each pair, like 5 to 10 minutes. And now it's a different ball game, but they pop out.
Yeah.
They pop out if they get hit just right. So Vincenzo, thanks for the text.
He runs the old style blade holder where you like it's a lot harder to get him out. So I'm pretty sure the skate malfunctions that he has, like he has to go in the room to get them checked out. I'm pretty sure that's what I've been seeing.
Somebody gave me a theory on that.
Okay.
It's if he needs a break in the game, he'll take one off and be like, fix it. Yeah. But it was a theory. It was a theory from an equipment manager from a different team.
Yeah.
And I was like, clever. Yeah. All right. Let's get to the turning point of the game. Brought to you by our good friends and partners over at Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists and does not have quick release blades on his skates. And you've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. I mean, I think we could go so many different routes with this, but that sequence in the second period where the Oilers buried 4 in a row, I think that really turned the tide. And they got them in what? 4-minute and 49-second span?
Yeah.
Am I doing the quick math on that? Well,
yeah.
Did I get that right?
They said on the broadcast.
Or is it 3:49? All from D-men. Stastny, Ekholm, Nurse, Ekholm. 4:36 time of goal, 6:28 time of goal, 7:34 time of goal, 8:25 time of goal. And it went from a 2-1 deficit to a 5-2 lead, and the Oilers ended up not looking back. So to me, that sequence in that span from 4:36 to 8:25, when the Oilers D-men were very dangerous offensively and scoring 3 different ones, Stastny, Ekholm, and Nurse. 2 from Ekholm in that span. That to me is the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. If you need to get something fixed up on your body, you're a little bit banged up maybe the old shoulder pops out. I don't know. You tell me. Old football injury, old hockey injury, that knee's a little bit creaky. Book your assessment over at www.advantagesportmed.ca or just call them 780-460-9977. Let's welcome in our great friend and excellent host of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, Monday to Friday, 3 to 6, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Reid Wilkins for Reid's Reid, brought to you by Ewell, your power play specialist. Ewell has the gear you need for your next electrical project with 3 Edmonton area locations, and you can order online anytime at ewell.ca. Ewell, your Edmonton-based partner in power and source for all things electrical. Once again, Riedrich, it was electric in the building, probably because it was powered by Ewell, our partner in power. I like to think so, at least. What'd you think of the game, big man?
Well, very fun. A game again. A lot of goals, a lot of action. High event game. Feel-good story for the old veteran and fan favorite Ekholm to get a hat trick. And Tom, I was starting to wonder if it was ever going to happen. If an Oilers defenseman would get a hat trick. I mean, like all day yesterday, I was thinking about it. Like, when is it going to happen? And then this game starts and the first period goes by. And I was like, when is it going to happen? It's been like 2 days, almost 2 days. and then they got it. It is kind of funny. 20 years between hat tricks by Oilers defensemen, and then it happens 2 games in a row. And as I'm sure you've mentioned, never before in NHL history has have defensemen on the same team got hat tricks in back-to-back games. Fastest 4 goals involving only defensemen in NHL history. For the Ducks, that's only the 3rd time in their team history a player has scored 3 power play goals in a game, with Granlund doing it today. The other 2 guys are exactly who you would expect, Korea and Solani. So this was just a bit of a crazy game, high event game, fun game. I mean, I've heard the talk about the Oilers defending. It's kind of odd because I thought some of their worst defending didn't result in Anaheim goals. And this gets me to Jarry for tonight. I mean, 4 goals against by a goalie. Okay, I maybe wouldn't like that, but he did stop 90% of his shots.
Yep.
And I thought in the first half of the 3rd period was the best he played tonight, maybe one of his best stretches in his brief career as an Oiler, because Anaheim narrows it to 5-3 late in the 2nd period, and they dominated, most of the 3rd, especially those first, 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I know eventually they scored on the power play with about 6.5 minutes left, but Jarry made a bunch of good saves to keep it 5-3. And the longer he kept, I know eventually Anaheim got within 1, but he kept it 5-3 and didn't give them an immediate spark, in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the 2nd period, where then they're thinking, now we got over half a period to tie the game. So I thought that was important work from Jarry. Weird play with the skate blade coming off in the first period and him diving back. I don't know. I know the puck hit him, but I thought it got deflected on the way in.
I think it did.
And then was going to go wide. But nonetheless, he still dove back and got his body on the puck. So great for Ekholm. I mean, of course, McDavid made a lot of good plays. There was a lot of chances at both ends. I heard you talking about the Oilers' power. I noted that earlier today, the PK, it had snuck up the 10th in the league.
Yeah.
And now it's had some disappointing games against some bad power plays. LA, there was another team that was in the bottom 6 or 7 a couple of weeks ago. And now tonight, the Ducks, which didn't have a good power play, get 3 on it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But
Islanders?
I guess
was that the team you're thinking of?
Might have been the Islanders. Yeah. Because they got the 1-0 goal with a power play goal late in the 3rd period.
Ducks 26, by the way, coming in,
right. I thought in limited ice time, Szymanski looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. Played .743, should have scored. I mean, he hit the 1/5 of the net where Lacombe's stick was. I think it was Lacombe that got it. And then it's too bad he didn't get that goal. But I thought he moved well. He was going to the net, I believe, on one of the Ekholm goals. He seemed to be, decent down low forechecking. So there was enough there that, you hope he gets another look. And I think in faceoffs, he only took 4, but he won 3 of them. Mm-hmm. So a good little start for him. I mean, look, we've talked about this a lot, right? Big picture, the Oilers' bottom 6, specifically the 3rd line, is not good enough. So I think they have to look for internal solutions. I mean, I'm sure they're looking to trade. I think Craig Button on TSN tonight was talking about Ryan O'Reilly and, of course, Boone Jenner.
Yep.
Maybe, but if you have an internal solution or an internal solution to complement a trade, that's ideal. So maybe Szymanski's going to be that guy. I mean, at least it was a promising start.
Hey, real quick. Oh, do you have something else you want to add before I
go ahead? I do, but you can ask me something.
I was just going to say real quick, when it comes to the bottom 6, I know we have talked about it ad nauseum all year long, and I think rightfully so. Are there little indicators or some small moments recently that are kind of encouraging? I'm thinking of Curtis Lazar making a few plays. I thought he made a couple tonight. Maybe Szymanski, they have something that'll take time to develop, but do you think there are some little things starting to peek their head above the ground a little bit, or do you think there's still a disaster?
Well, I don't think it's a disaster, but there's
no middle ground in oil country.
I think, okay, To me, it's more. Sorry, I didn't hear that last part. I'm sure you were very funny.
I said there's no middle ground in oil country. It's either terrible or the best.
Right. Yeah, sometimes.
You know this.
I actually think the fourth line is at least serviceable because I think Lazar has been pretty good with faceoffs. I mean, he was 4 out of 7. No, he was 7 out of 13. He took a lot tonight. So still 54%. I know people make fun of Janmark. I am fine with what Janmark does. I know he can't handle the puck. Okay. He skates, he gets in the way.
Watch your mouth.
He's much more tenacious than a lot of players on this team. Okay.
Yes.
Frederick, he had a scoring chance tonight. Okay. He's on the fourth line.
He did.
I still think the third line needs to be bolstered. I mean, Savoy's been fine. He seems to be getting, he got a couple goals. He seems to get a good shot off. Maybe every game or every second game he gets an okay chance. So that's the work in progress area to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can at least be okay with Lazar and Janmark on the fourth line. And look, guys, I know he's a really good story and he scored a lot earlier in the season and he got the overtime goals. Or is Jack Roslovic really noticeable lately? Not really. And this is the story of his career, right? He can give you a good 35 to 40 games.
Yeah.
But he's, and in the playoffs, he, hasn't been used. And I think we've seen in some of the, not that it's anything like the playoffs yet, but in some of the games where it's gotten a little heavier or he's needed to protect the puck down low or has been forced down low, he's not really noticeable, right? So that's that third line area that I think needs to be bolstered.
Understandable. It's Reid brought to you by Ewell. Benny, do you want to throw anything at Reid?
Just the defense, obviously they were a little bit leaky today and it's become a common trend. I believe I asked you, where did you think they should upgrade next, defenseman or top 9? For the defense, do you still think that there is a top 4 spot available? Because there was some talk earlier today about Jake Wallman not being as good as I think people are hoping for him to be. Do you think Wallman would be better placed as a third pair guy in the upgrade in the top 4, or just a general upgrade on defense in general?
Yeah, probably just a general upgrade.
Yeah.
Good for Stastny, who scored tonight. We talked about him last game. How is he going to be in heavier, more physical games, especially in the postseason?
Mm-hmm.
I think we know what Bouchard is. Okay, I'm not going to turn this into the 4,000th Bouchard conversation of the season. Ekholm seems to have really bounced back from a slow start. Tonight aside, he's been playing better. He's plus 20 something, I think, since November 20th. So that's really good. I think, Wallman and Nurse are both good defensemen, but they're both mistake-prone defensemen, right? Or make plays where it's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like Nurse getting tied up with that player a couple games ago. I can't remember who they played already.
Cody Glass.
Cody Glass, yeah, where he's like, why are you checking a guy? Like, either change or get back into your position. And I think Wallman is a little bit like that, where he's a good player. He can make high-end plays. And then I think maybe before he was hurt again, some of the pinches he would make where it's like, okay, what's your decision-making? Are you always trying to hit a home run, right? Like, I know Ekholm in his interview said safe as death, but of course we all know there's varying degrees of that, and they're still reading the game situations. Ideally, you'd kind of get another version of Ekholm or a 31-year-old version of Ekholm. I don't know how realistic that is. They may just have to go get, maybe a beefier version of Stastny who can play a bit as a depth guy.
Will Borgen.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a Star Trek reference too.
And real quickly, I like how you pointed that out, because I think Kreider and Trouba, you talk about cast-offs from the Rangers. I think their presence helps these young guys in Anaheim, honestly. I thought Trouba was really good. Yeah, he made some good plays. I don't know what his stat line was. I'll take a look at it.
He played 22-49. He had 8 shots on goal.
Yeah.
And he was even. There was one play or goal against. I think he kind of got. I can't remember them all now, but I mean, he's been pretty good. Kreider. I mean, we know he's always been kind of a net front agitating type guy. I mean, Killorn is a guy who's played on some good teams in the past. Did something happen to Ryan Strome?
I didn't notice him after the penalty.
He only played 442. Oh, yeah, he fell down along the boards there, didn't he? Oh, no, he high-stick Nurse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, he's been a healthy scratch, and I don't know if Quenneville really likes him, to be honest with you.
Okay, so Quenneville...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have talked about this already.
We haven't talked about this.
Talk about it.
Stastny scores.
Yeah, what was that?
That made it 2-2.
That made it 2-2, yeah.
That started the onslaught. And then you can tell when the bench is looking at something, right? Because the coaches have their heads down because the monitors are by their feet, right? I'm sure people have seen that. And then usually the refs will linger like, are we going to start the game? I got to go skate over here. Like they give the bench the benefit of the doubt, right?
They do.
So they're looking at something. And then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but as part of the sequence, one of the referees says Anaheim has called their 30-second timeout, right?
Yes.
And then I was watching the monitor upstairs because I can't quite see the detail all the way across the ice from how high we are. And then Quenneville, you could tell, is giving them that's blankety blank, bull blank, and scowling at them. And I'm like, okay, well, if he was thinking about challenging an offside or a goalie interference, I'm not sure he would be that mad.
Mm-hmm.
The ref called the timeout for Quenneville.
Is that why he was mad?
Yes. So he was delaying. I was told that Joel didn't call that timeout. The ref, because they were taking so long. So I think we can fill in the blanks here. The ref's like, "Hey, Joel, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing? Like, give me a sec. Give me a sec? Like, are you going to make up your mind? Give me a sec." So I think finally the ref was kind of like, "Okay, you're taking a timeout."
Wow.
And I went to call the timeout. So then I think that's why Quenneville was like, "That's blankety blank crap," and it kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, the ref just should have said, no, it probably just should have said, "I'm dropping the puck. You've run out of challenge time." For him to go and call the timeout is now who knows what else was said, but that's what I was told.
Go ahead, Benny.
Yeah, I saw on the broadcast. So right after the timeout was called, it was like 5 seconds later, they show Quenneville, and he's talking to the linesman in between the benches, and he goes, "I didn't call that. I don't want to take my timeout." And the linesman is looking at him, talking to him, and then Quenneville goes, "Go tell him that. I don't want the timeout." And then the ref comes over and he's yelling at him like I don't want the timeout. Go play. Go drop the puck. I don't want it. And the ref says, "Nope, you took too long." And so they were just going at it.
Okay, so I didn't realize what was on TV. So I guess maybe people knew that. But
I thought he also said to the refs, "I better have a timeout left in the game."
Yes. Yeah.
I thought I saw him say that. I'm like, what are you talking about? How?
Say on the game sheet if the timeout was used.
And the ref came back. The ref circled back to him and told him the news that he's not going to have his timeout. And you can read lips, and he goes, "That's effing BS."
Right. Yeah.
And then kept going on.
Amen.
So
okay, so I didn't realize how much you guys knew from what was on TV, but I checked about that behind the scenes. I sniffed around a bit, and that's
well done. Good dig.
I found out.
Good dig. It's Reed's Read, brought to you by Ewell. Excellent sleuthing by one Reed Bartholomew Wilkins. All right, so the Sharks are in Vancouver tomorrow night. I assume they win that game, but you never know.
Well, and then, I think you always pick against Vancouver at this point.
Well, rightly so. And then they come here and play the Oilers on Thursday night. So some time here, the rare 2 days without a game for the Edmonton Oilers. What do you think will be the focal point? I didn't see the schedule. Have they told us?
They're off tomorrow.
Off tomorrow, so they'll have full practice day.
Players off
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, so what do they do Wednesday?
Well, I think. I I think they're still going to probably work on their puck play a bit here. I mean, it was better today, but there were still issues just getting the puck up the ice and getting it out of the zone. I mean, I know when I saw some stuff on X about it, I think it was the third period power play goal. Like Nurse has it behind the net and holds onto it and rims it, and there's a Duck player right there. And I think it was
Bouchard did that too on the first one.
And Kapanen was at the far blue line. Like, dude, like,
yeah.
And sometimes guys, okay, I'll go on a bit of a tangent here. Like, I feel whatever happened to you're on the PK, you have the puck behind your own net, and you take a full slap shot to rim it around the boards.
Yeah.
You know, like now it's always just like, oh, I better wait in case I can get a good breakout pass, or okay, I'll wrist it high up the glass and try to get a bounce. Like, just take a full slap shot into the corner. You know, if the guy knocks it down at the blue line, he's not going to be able to control it because it'll be coming at him and skittering around so hard.
Yeah.
So I still think, now I know that was shorthanded, so it's a little different than a traditional breakout, but I just think better decisions and crisper play with the puck, though it certainly has improved from the Pittsburgh game.
Yep.
Where it was really bad.
Hey, this was a great Reid's read.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Tom.
Yeah, you owe me $5, but I think I can stand by that statement too. So, but $5 tomorrow in the studio. I look forward to receiving that. Maybe I'll go to the dollar store and get you some snacks or something. I don't know.
Reid, don't be too paranoid for the next couple of days. The Oilers don't play till Thursday, so a DMN hat trick won't be coming for a little while.
The clock's ticking. The clock's ticking. It's been a long time.
Goodness. Hey, Reid Rick, great to see you tonight. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Great stuff tonight.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Okay, there you go. Reid Wilkins with Reid's Read, brought to you by Ewell, your partner in power. You can keep some text coming in. I'll try to get to some as we wind things down. We'll also get to the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game with Benny. This one comes in via the inbox from Nature Boy. Nature Boy texting in says, at the end of the day, the Oilers have to Oiler. I was at the game tonight, and it was excellent. A lot of fun, especially the great, big, beautiful Swede getting his first hat trick in the NHL. Congrats to him, and way to go, Oilers. And then the league put out a stat that this was dueling hat tricks. Trend continues. Ekholm and Granlund marked the third dueling hat trick of 25-26. There was also San Jose, Tampa, January 3rd, and New York and San Jose. So San Jose is involved with a bunch of it. So you're saying there's a chance for Thursday?
I believe it was both Celebrini hat tricks too. I believe.
Oh boy. Well, make it happen a third time for Celebrini. The most in a season since 92-93, which also had 3. A good chance that could be broken this year. There's been a lot of hat tricks, especially in 2026. I saw someone texting in about that. It's been a lot of offense, which has been great. So some stats for you. Good text there. Thank you for that one. And that was from Nature Boy. Yeah, that was from Nature Boy. All right, Benny, take it away with the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game.
All right, Damon Bunting, Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out on DamonBunting.com or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. I'm going to go maybe a little off the board, kind of. I'm going to go to Tristan Jarry on this one.
Ooh, spicy pick.
It is an interesting pick. I mean, flat 900 save percentage. Not great, not bad. 4 goals against, but I thought to me when the Ducks had that first push in the game, that he helped this Oilers team out quite a bit and made some big saves for them. We've talked about it. Sometimes, saves from your goalie need to be more timely than how often it happens, right? And I thought to start the game, the Ducks had the jump, and I thought Jarry did a pretty good job of holding them in. And throughout the game, made some big saves. Yeah, letting in 4 isn't great, but like we've been talking about, the defensive play was also not great today. So, honestly, I'm going Tristan Jarry. He's been pretty solid in his time at Edmonton. He hasn't been fantastic, but I think for all of us, I think we're all in agreement that the Oilers just get solid goaltending. That's a pretty solid, advantage for the Oilers there. It's something that they've been wanting. So, Tristan Jarry is going to get player of the game today. Good job. Nicely done. That's Damon Bunting, our good buddy over with the agency now. Nicely done, Ben Thomson. Rip City Step wants to know why Benny hates Stastny. I've given Stastny player of the game. This is don't get caught in Rip City Step's trap.
I thought he was solid tonight.
This is what he does.
He was an honorable mention. Szymanski was an honorable mention. Those were the three I was deciding between. And I was like, you know what? I think Tristan Jarry had his fingerprints on this one. He's going to player of the game.
He made some nice saves, and that one without the skate blade was good. Rip City Step also texted in and said, never doubted him. Very good. Let's see. Did I forget any other ones? Yeah, there's some all right ones. Great pick, Benny, says Vincenzo. All right, that's going to do it. We had a great show. That was a lot of fun today. A couple of records. 4 goals and 349 from the Edmonton Oilers D-men. That was the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. And then Benny Thomson with his pick with Tristan Jarry for the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game. Highly entertaining, lots of action. And those Anaheim Ducks, man, they are pesky. They're aggressive. They're going to be fun to watch. And we get to see these two teams go toe-to-toe 2 more times this season. We'll have to wait till February 25th and March 28th. However, on Thursday, the Oilers take on Macklin Celebrini and the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks in Vancouver tomorrow to take on the Vancouver Canucks. The Oilers with the day off, back at practice Wednesday, back in the game on Thursday, and we'll see if they can continue to create a cushion between them and the rest of the Pacific Division, continuing to try to chase down those Vegas Golden Knights. They're tied at 62 points. The Golden Knights have 3 games in hand. They are in action tomorrow against the Montreal Canadiens at Bell Center. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. The Oilers, 7-4 winners over the Anaheim Ducks. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys watching, whether it was iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, our audio player on our website, or of course, YouTube. Thank you so very much. For Reid Wilkins, for Matt Kassian, and Ben Thomson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow. The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric gets you going right here at 6 a.m. on our fine station. Ciao for now, everybody.